Hey, so my name is Bryce Tubbs. Today I just want to share this video talking about how to become the bookkeeping firm near me. Basically, how to become the local brand that everyone in your area goes to first. So this is a topic that's really near and dear to me because when I first got started, I had this thought process that you had to take like 5 to 10 years to go and build like this local brand awareness, and it was going to be very, very challenging for me to be able to grow my business. And give me one sec. And when I was doing that, it almost felt kind of like I was trying to push this like boulder up a hill because I didn't really know what to do. So I thought I had to go and do presentations at SCORE or Spark or the SBDC, right? And I thought I would have to, show up on stage, or that I had to go and talk to a bunch of people, show up to a million networking events, go door to door. And as I started getting better and better and better at marketing, I realized that it's not really about doing all the traditional stuff that most people think it is. It's really about learning how to connect with the right people inside of the local marketplace so that you can start going and just growing a lot faster. And that's really been the key for me and for a lot of my students. So number one thing you have to do is you have to start making, we call it the Dream 100. So make a list of all the different influential business owners inside of your city that will deal with a target market that's very similar to the target market you are trying to serve. For example, financial advisors. For example, tax professionals if you do more monthly work. Other CFOs. Another good one would be commercial real estate agents. Consultants, whether it's an IT consultant, a marketing consultant, a web developer, web design kind of consultant, it doesn't matter. You need to start getting a list of those people. And then from there, you can start utilizing the internet to start going and building that relationship. So being able to, connect with them, whether you're doing like LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, doesn't really matter the platform. It's more about learning how to make contact with them in the correct way that adds value to them first, so then they actually start listening to you and they start seeing you as a person to go. Now, once you've been able to kind of create that value, then you can start going and really building that relationship with them. So being able to go and develop like a rapport on the phone, for example. The way that I even developed and learned how to do this was I was trying to get this one person to sign up with me for my accounting and bookkeeping service. And the person's like, well, do you know so-and-so? I'm like, no, I don't know so-and-so. And he goes like, yeah, I generally don't work with people unless so-and-so has given me kind of their stamp of approval, because so-and-so has been around for, about 15, 20 years in the game, and like he basically knows everyone. So, you kind of have to get in with that click just to make sure that's good. Now, looking back, it might have just been like kind of a smokescreen objection where the person didn't really want to sign up with me for my accounting service, and they're kind of just using that. But for me, what I actually took that as was, okay, cool. So if I can just go and connect with this person who seems to know a lot of people inside of the area, then I can start building my brand inside the local area. Okay, cool. So, my brain was always thinking, okay, so maybe I can go show up to the person's office. And that didn't go well, right? Because you're always playing phone tag with the person, or you're, playing receptionist, workaround strategy where you're talking to the executive assistant who's inside of the main office, or a receptionist, whatever they might have, right? And the person's like, it's not available. Like they're called gatekeepers, and their job is to keep people out from talking to the owner, because the owner's time is very valuable, right? So if you're going there and you're trying to be in person, it's very hard, because then sometimes you might drop off your business card, but you don't really actually know if the business card got to the right person, right? They could have either thrown it inside the trash, or it just there's a million different reasons why it might not have reached the owner. So the best way that I found was personally going on like LinkedIn and being like, okay, cool, so I know this is the office of Earth, Wind, and Fire, right? So I'm going to go online, find who's the owner of Earth, Wind, and Fire, and then I'm going to go and send a message to that person. I'm going to then go send like some helpful articles, like some cool things that I think you might have in common. Hey, are you part of this networking event? Hey, are you part of this? Hey, have you heard about this cool conference that's going on? Hey, have you heard about this recent event? Here's something that is mutual between both of our networks and both of our industries, if they're in a slightly different industry than I am. Now, once that contact has been made, you're looking more for like responses and replies. The more they reply, the easier it is for you to start building that rapport with them. And I know I keep saying the word rapport. All rapport means it's like this mixture of they have to know you exist, they have to really respect you, and then they have to trust that if they send people your way, you're actually going to do a really good job servicing their clients, because every time that someone gives a referral, they're actually putting their brand on the line. Even though it's not like a killer, like it's gonna end their brand completely, they do lose a little bit of brand equity, especially if they send you or a client and it's just not a good fit on both ends. So they have to make sure that there's a little bit of trust and that you're actually who you say you are, or you're as good as what they intentionally believe that you are. Now, if you're watching this, I'm entrusting that you are, right? And even if you might not feel like that you're a top level accountant or a top level bookkeeper, or you're just getting started, like I still think that there are steps you can take to become a little bit more effective and a little bit better. Don't let that kind of throw you off. And oftentimes, like we as accounting professionals, we're so used to, especially like in corporate America, you've been trained to kind of look for mistakes and look for reasons why things don't work, right? That just tends to be the personality of some people who are inside of this, right? But as you know, when you're in business for yourself, as many of you who are watching this video are, you don't really have that backstop. Like for example, we don't have that backstop. If I didn't have my network when I was first getting started and learning all this stuff, like, it would be terrible. It was so scary. That's why I always recommend, like, you join a community of people who are doing the same thing. And generally, if you paid to be inside that community, for example, inside of my mentorship program, we have a client community and student community of all different people that have been inside the program, and you can always ask questions, get all that answered, and then have people that are around you that can be that sounding board or that back wall for you, so you never feel like you're alone. And that, to be honest, has been one of the biggest reasons why a lot of people join the program. Not just the marketing, the pricing, the sales, but really having a support group of people who want to see you succeed. Now, even kind of go, now also, if you want to learn more about that program, if you want to know, like, what can we do to help you out to go and reach your goal in the shortest time period possible, go ahead and click on the link inside the description below to book a call with me to see if I can help you. Now, just anyway, coming back to what we're talking about, right? So we have to make sure that we can start getting heard and getting that, rapport built. Now, once that rapport has been built, your job is really just to get on a 15 to 20 minute call with them and see exactly how you can help them out, right? That is the goal. If you can get on that phone call and they're a very, busy person, they actually take the time out of the day to do the phone call with you, that right there is money. That's so much money. Even though you're not cashing in on that money, you're building this bank account of future value. And the more of these kind of connection/networking calls you can get on, the easier it is for you to grow long term. And when I was getting started, like, I was like, why would I ever do a call with someone if I'm not going to get paid for it? Like, if it's not a potential client, I don't want to speak to you. If you just want to network, I don't want to speak with you, right? And looking back at it, that wasn't. I know what I was thinking, and maybe you're thinking that too, and as you're watching this. But looking back to where I am now, like, it's just not. It's not the right way to be thinking. One sec. Because just because something doesn't pay you today doesn't mean it doesn't work. And just because something doesn't appear to work on the surface does not mean that it doesn't fit into your overall ecosystem. And that's why I always recommend, like, people get in alignment with someone who's a little bit further ahead of them. For example, I can tell someone exactly how many people they have to speak to on LinkedIn before they can get a client. Or I can tell them how many, like, of these referral calls they have to do before they can start getting clients that, are getting sent to them. I can just predict things that are happening before they happen. It's not that I know everything. It's just since I'm been doing this for 7 years in my accounting and bookkeeping business, and I've helped out, over 100 students inside the mentorship program. It's just experience is really the thing that allows me to be like, I can see the future, right? And even today, inside of both my businesses, I'll still do networking calls with people, and I don't expect anything out of it, right? Like, for example, this other gentleman owns, like, a Facebook group with, like, I think it's like 25,000 people inside of it, right? And I did a conversation with them, and we were just talking. Like, he wasn't paying me any money for that, and I had to share him inside of my Facebook group. And, some people will be like, well, that's a loss. That's a waste of time, Bryce. Why would you ever do that? But it's one of those things where a relationship matters, because that person sends me clients, that person, lets me post inside their group and just share helpful articles and share things that, allow me to be able to move the needle forward for my business. But it didn't really provide any direct value initially. A good example of someone who did this correctly was Melissa. So Melissa, we call her Melissa Herring because we have a number of Melissas inside the program. But she was able to go and get an extra extra $7,000 a month from 2 referral partnerships, okay? 2 referral partnerships. And she actually got those referral partnerships within like the first like week of us working together. But kind of the backstory for her was she was really struggling to charge the price she wanted, because whenever someone would come to her, they just wouldn't know who she was. She didn't really have that brand. She didn't really have any kind of like footing inside of the local area, which is basically what this video is about. And then once she started really learning how to tap into influence and tap into like these referral partnerships with these people who already have spent their basically most of their career developing trust inside the local market, have developed like this rapport, have developed this respect, developed this authority, you can actually start hacking that authority just by learning how to be in contact with them, so they start sending people to you. Then when those people come to you, it's almost like, you know, you don't really have to sell. It doesn't feel like you're selling. It's more, so-and-so said you're the person to come see if I need this help, right? So, you know, I really want to get this thing done. I've been tired of thinking about it. You know, I didn't really know who to choose, but, you know, so-and-so said that you're the person. I'm ready to roll. Like, I don't really need to know how much they cost. And you're golden, right? And that's kind of why a lot of the students whenever I talk about like a student, they're growing really fast, oftentimes it isn't necessarily that they're doing a lot more work than the average individual. It's more that they're doing the right work that continues to snowball and allows you to be able to start building kind of like this authority. It's almost like a linear amount of work in the beginning for an exponential growth curve. And that's how a lot of the students, like I always say, like if you can get to about $3,000 per month in your business and it wasn't luck and you were doing like tactics that are proven, you can get to about $10,000 per month in the span of like an extra month, right? You can even get to about $15,000 in the span of probably about 5 months. If you keep doing the right tactics and if you like understand how to handle that workload, which, you know, I can also show you how to do that if we're working together. But all that to say, you're going to be able to grow really quickly. It's just you need to put your foundations in and become that person. You know, whenever someone's thinking about bookkeeping or accounting near them, like that's what it is. It's just you're the person, you're the go-to person inside of the local area. You don't really have to worry about, you know, fancy marketing campaigns. You don't have to worry about being like amazing at sales. It's just they already come to you pre-sold because you've done the work ahead of time. And that's really what I want to help you do. So if you want some help growing your business and reaching your goals, maybe like you don't feel like you have control, right? Maybe it feels like sometimes your business grows, sometimes it doesn't grow. Sometimes you put in work and like you get a response, sometimes you don't get a response. If you want to really be in control, where you know that if you do X amount of work, you're going to get X amount of results, right? I recommend you go and check out to learn more about working with me inside the mentorship program. Like, to be completely honest, like this is the fastest way you're going to go reach your goal. And I'm not saying you're not going to reach your goal if you do it alone. I'm just saying I don't think you want to spend 3 years like I did trying to figure this stuff out. So if you want to go and avoid that time suck, if you need to, you know, grow your business fast and it's really a priority for you to move forward with your business, I recommend you go ahead and click on the link inside the description below to book a call with me, okay? The link's going to have a picture of my calendar. You can just select a time that fits you the best, answer a couple questions to know whether or not I can actually support you, and then I'll see you on the call to see if I can help you out. Hopefully it's been a great day. Hopefully you're doing well. I'd love to see you soon, and if you're not ready for the call right now, that's a-okay too. I will see you inside of the next video. Have a good one. Take it easy.